Hi guys, we're going to continue our patterning in quadratic graphing. So you should have out at this point one of the graphing foldables. In the center, we're going to label this Patterns of Quadratic Graphing, Part 3. Now, my plan is to do exactly what we did before. We have two problems that we're going to look at. So I'm going to do one that's kind of on this half and one that's in the other, and I'm going to move my paper around to make it a little bit easier for me to be able to write in there and then eventually to be able to make the graph. So I'm going to start with the first one. So just like all the other directions I've had, it's going to start out the same way. Make a table and graph. And my equation I'm going to start with is y equals negative x squared plus 2. So we're going to start just like we did with the other ones. We're going to make our table. We'll start with negative 2 to 2 and see what we get, and then add things if we need to. Now, I am going to take this equation and put it right here as well. Okay, now I'm going to take these one at a time and take these numbers and plug them in for x. Now, I will tell you on this one, it would probably be very helpful for you to plug them into Desmos. Especially the more complicated they get, the more that will help you. And make sure when you do that this negative is outside the parentheses and that one's inside. So when I plug the first one in my calculator, I'm going to end up with negative 2. I'm going to end up with 1, 2, 1, and negative 2. Now, the good news is, thank the Lord, I can see that there are some patternings that are happening there. So we're going to put these together to be able to make our points. So negative 2 is the first one. Negative 1, 1 is my second one. 0, 2. 1, 1, and 2, negative 2. Okay, now I'm going to zoom out just for a second. I'm going to take this sheet that we have, and again, I'm going to turn it so I can graph. I am going to mark my X and Y axis on here so I can tell what side's up, because Lord knows that's hard to do when you're looking back at your stuff. And I'm going to start to graph my points. So negative 2, negative 2, negative 1, 1, 0, 2, 1, 1, and 2, negative 2. So what's really different about this one is that you can see that it opens down. And really what causes that is that there's a negative in front of the x squared. So when there's a negative in front of the x squared, you can count on that one opening down. Now do realize, compared to where the parent function would be, even if I had a parent function, it'd be down here. you could see this has gone up 2 places from the plus 2 on the end of the equation. Okay, let's try one more. Okay, so I've gone to the other half of my paper, and the directions are going to be the same. Make a table and graph. And my equation is going to be y equals negative x squared minus 2. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make my table just like before. Start with my x values and go negative 2 to 2 and see where that gets me. We'll adjust if we need to. And I'm going to take this equation, it's going to go right here. Okay, so it's going to be negative 2 squared minus 2, negative 1 squared minus 2, negative 0 squared minus 2, negative 1 squared minus 2, negative 2 squared minus 2. Now, if I take those one at a time, I'm going to plug them in the calculator, especially since that negative's in front. So make sure you do negative and then your parenthesis, negative 2, close it and square it, and then minus 2. So in the first one, you're going to end up with negative 6, negative 3, negative 2, negative 3, and negative 6. And now I'm going to work to put these together to get my points. So the first point is going to be negative 2, negative 6. Negative 1, negative 3. 0, negative 2. 1, negative 3. 2, negative 6. Okay, now that I've got my points, I'm going to turn my paper right side up again. And I'm going to work to get these graphed. So negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 6, negative 1, negative 3, 0, negative 2, 1, negative 3, and 2, negative 6. So realize we kind of have these mirror images. That's what the repeating stuff kind of creates for us. Then I can go ahead and make my pattern through these. Now again, compared to where the parent function would be, right there, you could tell this has gone down too. That's from this part right here. Okay, we'll continue on in our next one.